She texted, "I'm staying at my best friend Steven's place for a week. Don't be insecure." I responded, "Have fun." Then I changed my apartment's Wi-Fi password and shipped her mail to her parents. When she came back the next week expecting everything normal, I, 31 male, got the text on a Wednesday afternoon while at work. My girlfriend Natalie, 29, and I had been together for 2 years, living together for the past 10 months in my apartment. "Hey babe, Steven's going through a rough patch with his breakup. I'm gonna stay at his place for a week to help him out. Don't be insecure about it, you know he's just my best friend. I'll be back next Thursday. Love you." Steven, her best friend from college who coincidentally only texts her after 10 p.m. The guy who accidentally called her beautiful at her birthday party. The same dude who told me I was lucky to have her while staring at her chest. I stared at my phone for a good minute. She wasn't asking, she was telling me, and preemptively calling me insecure for any reasonable concern I might have. I typed back, "Have fun." She responded with heart emojis and "Thanks for understanding, babe. You're the best." Yeah, the best, all right. I left work early that day. Not angry exactly, more like clarity had suddenly hit me. This wasn't the first boundary she'd pushed. Last month, it was drinks with her ex just to catch up. Before that, a weekend trip with her male coworker to a work conference that turned out to be optional. Each time I expressed discomfort, I was controlling or insecure or toxic. Each time I eventually caved, apologized for my trust issues, and she'd reward me with affection for a few days before the next test. But staying at another man's apartment for a week, while telling me not to be insecure about it? That wasn't a boundary push. That was a boundary demolition. I got home and looked around my apartment. Her stuff was everywhere. Her skincare products colonizing my bathroom, her clothes taking up 80% of my closet, her decorative pillows that served no purpose, her meal prep containers filling my fridge. She'd moved in gradually. First it was a drawer, then half the closet. Then she was getting mail here. But she never got added to the lease, never contributed to rent because she was saving up. Her name wasn't on any utilities. I pulled out my laptop and got to work. First, change the Wi-Fi password. She worked from home 3 days a week. Good luck with that. Second, set up mail forwarding. All her mail would now go to her parents' house in the suburbs. Let them wonder why their daughter's getting her credit card bills again. Third, packed up her obvious belongings, clothes, makeup, her collection of succulents that were somehow always dying. Everything went into boxes, neatly labeled. I'm not a monster, just practical. Fourth, changed my streaming passwords. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max. She had them all, had been mooching for 2 years. Fifth, removed her as my emergency contact at work and the gym, put my brother instead. By Thursday morning, I'd transformed the apartment back to how it was before Hurricane Natalie hit. Clean, minimal, mine. She texted me updates throughout the week like everything was normal. "Steven says hi. Making him dinner tonight. The poor thing can barely feed himself, lol. Watching movies on his couch. Miss you." I responded to each with variations of cool and nice. She didn't notice the difference. Too busy playing house with Steven, I guess. Update 1 Thursday came. She texted that morning. "Coming home around 6. Can't wait to see you, baby. Steven's feeling much better," I replied. I was sitting on my couch without her throw pillows, eating Chinese takeout straight from the container when I heard her key in the lock. Or trying to be in the lock. The scratching went on for about 30 seconds. Ryan, the door won't open." I walked over, opened it halfway. She was standing there with her weekend bag, looking confused and a little annoyed. "Hey, your key doesn't work," she said, trying to push past me. I didn't move. "Yeah, I had the locks changed." She laughed nervously. "What? Why? Did something happen?" "You moved out, so I figured I should update security." Her face went through several expressions. Confusion, annoyance, then a forced smile. "Babe, I was just helping Steven for a week. I didn't move out." "You stayed at another man's apartment for a week. Sounds like moving out to me." She actually rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, are you seriously being this petty? Let me in, Ryan. I'm tired." "Your stuff's in boxes by the door. Your mail now goes to your parents' house. The Wi-Fi password's changed. I'd appreciate if you could collect everything now." The fake smile dropped. Are you breaking up with me? Over staying with a friend? I'm establishing boundaries. You made your choice to stay with Steven. I made mine to reclaim my space. That's when the rage started. You insecure little man. Steven is gay. I actually laughed. Steven's gay? The same Steven who dated Michelle for 3 years? Who hit on my coworker at the Christmas party? That gay Steven? She turned red. He's bi, but he's not interested in me. Cool story. Your boxes are getting heavy. Need help carrying them down? She tried pushing past me again. I stood firm. Natalie, you're not a resident here anymore. Please take your things. I've been living here for 10 months. You can't just kick me out. You voluntarily left to stay elsewhere for a week. You're not on the lease. This is my apartment. Would you like me to call building security to help with your boxes? She started crying. The tears that usually made me cave. Baby, please. This is crazy. I love you. I was just helping a friend. Then Steven can help you now, with moving. Her phone buzzed. She looked at it and her face went pale. Why is my mom texting me about receiving my Nordstrom bill? Mail forwarding, since you don't live here anymore. You forwarded my mail? Yes, to your permanent address, your parents' house. She was typing furiously on her phone, then stopped. The Wi-Fi isn't working. That's for residents only. I work from home tomorrow. Sounds like a you problem. Maybe Steven has good Wi-Fi. The next hour was a symphony of manipulation tactics. Tears. How could you do this to us? Rage. You're a pathetic, controlling psycho. Bargaining. Just let me stay tonight and we can talk tomorrow. Threats. I'll tell everyone what an insecure baby you are. Love bombing. Baby, you're the only man I've ever loved. I remained unmoved. Eventually she called Steven. I heard her sigh. Can you come get me? No, now. Because Ryan's being psychotic. Just come get me. 20 minutes later, Steven pulled up in his Prius. He actually had the audacity to come to my door. Bro, this is really unnecessary. Nothing happened. I looked him dead in the eye. Bro, she's your problem now. Enjoy your house guest. Natalie was dragging boxes to his car, shooting me death glares. As they loaded the last one, she came back. You're gonna regret this. We were perfect together. We really weren't. You just had free rent and Wi-Fi. I was the best thing that ever happened to you. The best thing that happened to me was buying this apartment before we met. In my name only. She slapped me. Not hard, but enough to sting. Steven pulled her away. Come on, Nat, he's not worth it. As they drove off, I touched my cheek and smiled. She just upgraded this from a civil separation to assault. Camera in the hallway definitely caught that. Update 2 Friday morning, the bombardment began. 62 texts from Natalie overnight. They ranged from apologetic novels to one-word insults. My favorite was, "You'll die alone with your stupid minimalist apartment." I screenshotted everything and didn't respond. Then came the call to my workplace. My boss pulled me aside. Ryan, your ex-girlfriend called, said there's a domestic situation and you've made her homeless? I showed him the texts, including the one where she said she was staying with Steven by choice, and the slap video from my hallway camera. He winced. Yeah, we're blocking her number. You might want to consider a restraining order. By noon, her flying monkeys arrived. Her sister Melissa texted, "What did you do?" Natalie is hysterical. Me, she chose to live with Steven for a week. I chose to make it permanent. Over a friend? You're pathetic. Your sister told me not to be insecure while she moved in with another man. I took her advice and moved on. Then her best friend Tara, you changed the locks while she was helping a friend in need? That's illegal. She's not on the lease. She left voluntarily. I have it in writing that she was staying with Steven. Would you like me to forward the texts to you? Radio silence after that. The real entertainment came Saturday. Natalie discovered the full extent of the streaming service situation. She tried logging into Netflix at Steven's place. Denied. Hulu? Nope. HBO? Forget it. She actually created a group chat with me and Steven. Ryan, I need the streaming passwords. That's just petty. Me, those are my accounts. Get your own. Dude, just share the passwords. Dude, just buy your own subscriptions. You've got a live-in girlfriend now. Congrats. Steven left the chat. Sunday brought a new development. Natalie's dad called me. Richard had always been cool with me, so I answered. Ryan, what's going on? Natalie's mother is driving me insane. Something about mail-in locks? I explained the situation calmly. The week at Steven's, the "don't be insecure" text. My response. Long pause. Then, she stayed at another man's place for a week? Yes, sir. And told you not to be insecure about it? Correct. Another pause. You have her stuff? All boxed up. She took it to Stevens. Good. Change your number too. And Ryan, you dodged a bullet, son. Plot twist I didn't see coming. Monday was when things escalated. I got home from work to find Natalie in the hallway with a locksmith. Miss, I can't just break into an apartment because you say you live here, the locksmith was saying. I've been living here for 10 months, she screeched. I approached calmly. Is there a problem? The locksmith looked relieved. Sir, are you the resident? I am. This is my ex-girlfriend who moved out last week. I showed him my ID and lease. Natalie had neither. Ma'am, I can't help you, he said and left quickly. Natalie turned on me. I'm calling the police. Please do. I have video of you assaulting me, plus texts showing you voluntarily left. This is harassment now. She called my bluff. The cops showed up 20 minutes later. Update 3. The officers listened to both sides. Natalie claimed illegal eviction. I showed them the lease, my name only, her texts about staying with Steven, the video of her slapping me, the fact she'd already removed all her belongings. Ma'am, the older officer said, you have no legal claim to this apartment. You left voluntarily, you're not on the lease, and you've already collected your belongings. If you continue harassing this man, you'll be arrested. For what? You assaulted him on camera. He could press charges right now. She looked at me with panic. I shrugged. I just want to be left alone. The officers made her leave. One pulled me aside. Get a restraining order. This type doesn't give up easy. He was right. Tuesday she tried a new approach. Posted on social media about being suddenly homeless after 2 years with a narcissist. Tagged mutual friends. Posted pictures of us from happier times with captions about not knowing who someone really is. The comments were initially sympathetic until my buddy Jake commented, "Didn't you move in with Steven last week?" Natalie, to help him. For a whole week, while in a relationship? The tide turned quickly. People started questioning her story. She deleted the post within hours. Wednesday brought the funniest development. Steven texted me. "Steven, bro, you need to take her back." Me, "No thanks. She's driving me crazy. She doesn't work, doesn't clean, just complains about you all day." Sounds like a you problem. This isn't funny. She's expecting me to pay for everything. She ordered $200 of sushi last night. Better upgrade that Hulu account. She likes to binge watch. Seriously? You wanted her. You got her. Enjoy. Thursday, exactly 1 week after she'd returned, the extinction burst happened. I was at work when security called me. Natalie was in the lobby of my building, telling anyone who'd listen that I was an abuser who'd stolen her home. I came down with my phone recording. "Natalie, you need to leave. This is my home. You moved out. You live with Steven now. That was temporary. So is this. Security, please escort her out." As they removed her, she screamed, "You'll pay for this. I'll ruin you." That was enough. I went straight to the courthouse and filed for a restraining order. Included all the evidence, texts, videos, witness statements. Granted temporarily, hearing set for next month. Update 4. The restraining order being served sent Natalie nuclear. She couldn't contact me directly, so she went after everything else. First, she tried to get me fired, called my HR department claiming I was dangerous and unstable. They asked for evidence. She had none. Meanwhile, I had a paper trail of her harassment. HR ended up sending her a cease and desist letter. Next, she went after my reputation. Created fake dating profiles with my photos and offensive bios. My brother found them and reported them all. We tracked the IP address, all created from Steven's apartment. More evidence for the permanent restraining order. Then came the financial warfare. She tried to access my credit cards. She'd memorized numbers from online shopping. Caught immediately thanks to two-factor authentication. The attempted fraud just added to my legal case. Steven, meanwhile, was falling apart. He called me from a different number. I'd blocked his main one. "Please, man, you have to help me. She's insane. I told you not to contact me. She's destroying my apartment. She threw my PlayStation out the window. Sounds expensive. She's saying if I kick her out, she'll tell everyone I assaulted her. Wow, that sounds familiar, almost like a pattern of behavior. What do I do? Get a lawyer, document everything, and maybe next time don't help steal someone else's girlfriend." He hung up. 2 weeks later, the permanent restraining order hearing arrived. Natalie showed up with her hair dyed black, wearing glasses I'd never seen, trying to look serious. She told the judge I'd made her homeless through manipulation and abuse. The judge asked for evidence. She had none. I had 247 threatening texts, video of assault, police reports, witness statements, proof of harassment at work, fake dating profiles, attempted credit card fraud. The judge granted a 2-year restraining order. Natalie started sobbing. "Your Honor, where am I supposed to live? That's not Mr. Ryan's concern, ma'am. You chose to leave his apartment. The consequences are yours to handle." Outside the courthouse, her mom was waiting. She looked exhausted. "Ryan," she said quietly, "I'm sorry. We didn't raise her to be like this." I just nodded and left. Update 5. Final 3 months have passed. Here's where everyone ended up. Natalie. Last I heard through the grapevine, Steven kicked her out after she cheated on him with his roommate. She moved back with her parents at 29 years old, posted about starting fresh and leaving toxic people behind before making her profiles private. Apparently working part-time at a juice bar now since she got fired from her remote job for never actually working. Steven. Tried to reconnect with our friend group. Got shut down hard. Nobody wants to hang with the dude who enabled this whole mess. Moved to a studio apartment after his roommate left, still paying off the PlayStation. Natalie destroyed. Me. The apartment's never been better. Turned her former closet space into a home office. Actually started dating someone new. Met Anna at a bookstore. When I told her this story on our 3rd date, she said, "So you're telling me you have strong boundaries and your own place? Marry me." We laughed, but honestly, she's pretty great. She has her own apartment and we're taking things slow. The best part, she actively makes fun of people who use insecure as a manipulation tactic. Richard, Natalie's dad, actually reached out last month, invited me for a beer. Told me Natalie's been in therapy, finally diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. He said she's refusing treatment because the therapist doesn't understand her. "You got lucky," he said. "My wife and I have been dealing with this for 29 years. At least you got out after 2. The restraining order is still active. She tried to contact me once through a fake Instagram account, reported it, and she got a warning from the police. Haven't heard anything since. My brother summed it up best. She played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. Living rent-free for 10 months, then throwing it away to play house with some dude for a week? That's next-level dumb." Looking back, the red flags were everywhere. Never had her own place, always lived with boyfriends or parents. Every ex was crazy or abusive. Constantly tested boundaries, then gaslit me when I pushed back. Zero financial responsibility, but expensive tastes. Used emotional manipulation like a weapon. The week with Steven wasn't the problem. It was the symptom of a much bigger issue. She genuinely believed she could do whatever she wanted, and I just accept it. She'd gotten away with it before. Multiple times, probably. Not this time. To anyone reading this in a similar situation, when someone tells you not to be insecure about obviously disrespectful behavior, they're telling you exactly who they are. Believe them, and then protect yourself. Don't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm, especially when they're already at someone else's house, warming themselves by their fire. Oh, and always, always, keep your apartment in your name only. That saved me from what could have been a legal nightmare. Peace out, Reddit. I'm gonna go enjoy my drama-free life with reasonable people who understand boundaries. Edit. Since everyone's asking, yes, the slap video was crucial. Always have cameras in common areas if legal in your state. That $50 hallway camera saved me thousands in potential legal fees. Edit 2. To the people saying I should have communicated better, I communicated fine. She just didn't like what I had to say. There's a difference between communication and compliance. She wanted compliance. I chose self-respect. She texted, "LOL, his proposal was so cringe. Thank God I said no," to her group chat, forgetting I was still in it. I replied, "Dodged a bullet." Then I forwarded the screenshots to her mother who'd started planning our wedding behind the scenes. The chaos was immediate. I, 29 male, am sitting in my apartment right now, watching the absolute meltdown happening on my phone. My now ex-girlfriend Madison, 27, just learned a very expensive lesson about checking who's in your group chats before trashing them. We'd been together for 4 years. I thought we were solid. Sure, Madison could be a bit high maintenance. Always needed the newest iPhone, complained when we went to regular restaurants instead of the trendy spots her influencer friends posted about. But I loved her, or thought I did. Last Saturday, I proposed. Spent 3 months planning it, saved up $8,500 for a ring. Yeah, I know, but she'd literally shown me the exact one she wanted like 50 times. Took her to the botanical gardens where we had our first date, had her favorite flowers everywhere, got down on one knee by the fountain at sunset. She said yes, cried. Posted a million photos on Instagram with #she said yes and future Mrs. hashtags. Her mom, Diane, called me sobbing with joy. Everything seemed perfect. Then Wednesday happened. I'm in a group chat with Madison and her 3 best friends, Brittany, Jenna, and Kelsey. They added me like 2 years ago for planning surprise parties and stuff. Usually it's dead except for birthday planning. But Wednesday afternoon while I'm at work, my phone starts blowing up. Madison, OMG, girls, I have to tell you something. Spill. So you know how I said yes to the proposal, right? Duh. We saw The Rock? Gorgeous. Yeah, about that. I'm giving it back. What? I know, but honestly, the whole thing was so cringe. A public proposal? At the basic botanical gardens? Like, what is this? 2005? My heart stopped. I literally had to sit down at my desk. But the ring is perfect. The ring is literally the only reason I said yes, lol. I was too embarrassed to say no in front of all those people. But seriously, he could have tried harder. Derek proposed to his GF on a yacht. Tyler took Amanda to Paris. And I get plants? Is it though? I've been dropping hints about the Four Seasons rooftop for months. He knows I wanted something that would go viral on TikTok. Instead, I got suburban mom vibes. Thank God I said no when he asked about setting a date yesterday. Wait, you already told him no? Not exactly. Told him I wanted a long engagement to savor being engaged, LMAO. I'll give the ring back after the holidays, need to milk the engagement gifts first. That's when I realized she forgot I was in this chat. I sat there for maybe 5 minutes, just staring at my phone. 4 years. 4 years of my life. I paid off her student loans, $23,000. Let her live in my apartment rent-free while she built her jewelry business. She sold maybe 3 bracelets on Etsy. And this is what she really thought. So I typed, dodged a bullet. Thanks for showing your true colors before I made the mistake of actually marrying you. The typing indicators started going crazy. Then stopped. Then started again. Gee, Ryan, I'm so sorry. That's not what I meant. I was just joking with the girls. Please don't take it seriously. Ryan, answer your phone. I screenshotted everything, the whole conversation. Then I did something that probably makes me petty, but I don't care. I forwarded all the screenshots to her mother, Diane. See, what Madison didn't know was that Diane had already put down deposits. The woman was so excited when we got engaged that she'd immediately started planning. She'd put $5,000 down on a venue, hired a wedding planner, even bought her mother of the dress outfit. She'd been texting me all week about cake flavors and flowers. I sent Diane everything with one message. Thought you should see this before you spend any more money on the wedding. I'm sorry. The chaos was instant. Update 1. Madison came home Wednesday night to find her stuff in boxes by the door. Yeah, we lived together in my apartment. Her name's not on the lease. She was hysterical. Full waterworks, snot bubble crying. Madison, baby please. It was just girl talk. I didn't mean any of it. Me, you called our engagement cringe and said you were keeping the ring for gifts. Madison, I was trying to sound cool. You know how Brittany is. Brittany made you say you'd milk the engagement for presents? That's not. I didn't mean. Your mom called, she's devastated, lost $5,000 in deposits. That's when Madison's face changed from sad to angry. You told my mother? Are you insane? She deserved to know before she spent more money on a fake wedding. It wasn't fake. I said yes. To avoid embarrassment. Your words. I'm not moving out. I have rights. You're a guest. 30 days notice, starting today. Be out by October 15th. She grabbed her phone and called her dad, Gordon. Put him on speaker, thinking it would intimidate me. Gordon, Ryan, what's this about kicking Madison out? Me. She admitted she only accepted my proposal for the ring and gifts. The wedding's off. Look, women say things they don't mean sometimes. I have screenshots, Gordon. Would you like to see what your daughter really thinks? Long pause. Madison, is this true? Daddy, he's overreacting. Did you or did you not say those things? It's complicated. Jesus Christ, Madison. Again? Again. Turns out this wasn't Madison's first rodeo. Gordon let slip that she'd pulled similar stunts with 2 previous boyfriends. One guy she'd strung along for a year because he had a boat. Another she'd dated solely because his dad owned a restaurant where she could eat free. Ryan, I'm sorry. Madison, get your things. You're coming home. Daddy, no. I'm not paying for another apartment while you play these games. Ryan, you'll get the ring back. Already have it? She left it on the nightstand Tuesday when she told me she wanted a long engagement. Madison's face went white. She'd been so confident I'd cave that she'd preemptively given back the ring, probably thinking I'd beg her to take it back. Update 2. The entitlement escalated fast. Thursday morning, I woke up to 73 Instagram notifications. Madison had posted a novel-length story about how I was emotionally abusive and controlling, said I'd isolated her from friends, monitored her messages, and kicked her out for having opinions. The comments were split. Her influencer friends were all, "Yes, queen, know your worth." But people who actually knew us were confused. My buddy Jake commented, "Didn't he just propose to you?" and got blocked immediately. Then came the financial demands. Madison texted me, from Brittany's phone since I'd blocked her, a list of things she wanted. $4,000 for emotional distress, her half of the furniture that I bought, 3 months of rent for a new place, $6,000, the engagement ring, since it was a gift, $2,000 for the jewelry business inventory she kept at my place. I responded with my own list. $23,000 for student loans I paid, $18,000 for 2 years of free rent, $3,500 for the vacation to Cabo I funded, $20 and $100 for the MacBook I bought for her business. Silence. Friday, Diane called. She was crying, but not for the reason I expected. Ryan, I'm so sorry. I'm mortified. It's not your fault. I raised her better than this, or thought I did. Did Gordon tell you about Christopher and Paul? He mentioned something. She did the same thing, took them for everything she could, then played victim when they left. We enabled it, always making excuses. Why are you telling me this? Because she's about to do something stupid and you should be prepared. What do you mean? She's been on the phone with her cousin who's a paralegal. They're planning something. Sure enough, Saturday morning I get served with papers. Madison was suing me for unlawful eviction and breach of verbal contract. She claimed we had an agreement that she could live there indefinitely in exchange for household management and that the engagement created a financial expectation. The number she was asking for? $50,000. $50,000. I laughed so hard the process server looked concerned. Update 3. My lawyer, who's also my cousin Tony, took one look at the lawsuit and said, "This is the dumbest thing I've seen this month, and I just had a client try to sue McDonald's for making them fat." We filed a countersuit immediately. Included, defamation for the Instagram posts, fraud for admitting she accepted the proposal under false pretenses, unjust enrichment for the loans and rent. But here's where it gets good. Remember how Madison mentioned Derek and Tyler, the guys whose proposals were supposedly so much better? Well, Derek's girlfriend is my coworker's sister. Small world. I reached out just to share my condolences about Madison's behavior. Turns out Derek never proposed. That yacht story? Complete fabrication. They'd been on a sunset cruise, but no ring. Madison had been telling everyone about this non-existent proposal to make herself look better. Tyler and Amanda? Even better, they're not even together anymore. Haven't been for 6 months. The Paris trip was Amanda going solo after she dumped Tyler for cheating. Madison had been living in a complete fantasy world, making up rival proposals that didn't exist to justify her materialistic demands. I sent all this information to Tony. He added it to our filing as evidence of her pattern of deception. Monday morning, Gordon called. "Gordon, Ryan, we need to talk. Can you meet me for coffee?" I agreed, curious. Gordon showed up looking exhausted. Apparently, Madison had been having daily meltdowns at home. She'd maxed out 2 credit cards buying stuff to rebuild her life. She'd been demanding they sue me, hire a PR firm to fix her image, and pay for a new apartment downtown. Gordon, I'm cutting her off. Me what? I've enabled this for too long. She's 27, not 17. Diane and I talked. No more bailouts. Good for you. I have something else. It might help your case. He handed me a folder. Inside were screenshots from Madison's iCloud. She was on his family plan and forgot. Messages between her and Brittany from before the proposal. I need him to propose with something worth at least $10K or I'm out. Once I get the ring, I'll have leverage. Goal is to stretch engagement for 2 years, save money living free. If he won't upgrade to a penthouse after wedding, I'll leave with half. She'd been planning to use me from the start. The I love yous, the talk about our future, all of it was calculated. Use this, end it. Maybe she'll finally learn. Update 4. Court happened yesterday. Madison showed up dressed like she was going to a funeral, trying to look sympathetic. Her paralegal cousin was representing her, and it was obvious within 5 minutes he was in way over his head. The judge reviewed everything. The text messages, the Instagram posts, the fake proposal stories, and then Gordon's evidence, the premeditated gold-digging messages. Judge, Miss Fitzgerald, did you write these messages? Those were private? He had no right. Did you write them? I was venting. Girl talk. Yes or no? Yes. The judge then looked at the household management claim. Can you provide evidence of this agreement? Written contract? Text discussing it? Anything? It was verbal, he promised. Mr. Peterson, did you make this agreement? Me no, Your Honor. She moved in after her roommate kicked her out. It was supposed to be temporary. That was 2 years ago. The judge actually rubbed his temples. Miss Fitzgerald, you admitted in writing that you accepted a proposal fraudulently, planned to exploit the plaintiff financially, and created false narratives about rival proposals. You then defamed him publicly and filed a frivolous lawsuit. Countersuit granted. You owe Mr. Peterson $15,000 in damages and legal fees. The eviction stands. Case dismissed. Madison lost it. Madison, this is sexism. I'm being punished for being a woman. Judge, you're being punished for being a con artist. Bailiff? They had to escort her out while she screamed about discrimination and her ruined life. Update 5. The aftermath has been spectacular. Madison's Instagram meltdown went semi-viral, but not how she wanted. Someone screen-recorded her courtroom tantrum and posted it on TikTok with Gold Digger Gets Reality Check. 1.8 million views. The comments are brutal. She really thought she did something. The entitlement is astronomical. That poor man dodged a missile. Brittany, Jenna, and Kelsey all unfollowed her after finding out she'd been lying about Derek and Tyler's proposals. Brittany actually reached out to apologize, said she had no idea Madison was that manipulative. The best part? Madison had to move back in with her parents, but not to their nice house. See, Gordon wasn't kidding about cutting her off. He gave her 2 options: get a job and pay rent, or move into the studio apartment above their garage that they'd been renting out. She chose the studio, thinking it would be temporary. It's been 3 weeks. She's applied to exactly 0 jobs because she's too traumatized to work, but somehow not too traumatized to post daily stories about surviving narcissistic abuse. Diane sent me a text yesterday. She's selling her designer bags to pay the court judgment. Reality is hitting hard. Thank you for not marrying her. Oh, and the ring? Sold it back to the jeweler for $7,200. Used $5,000 to reimburse Diane for the deposits she lost, and donated the rest to a financial literacy charity. Seemed fitting. Gordon forwarded me one last thing, a text Madison sent to her mom. This is all Ryan's fault. If he'd just done a better proposal, none of this would have happened. I deserve someone who appreciates me. Still blaming everyone but herself. Some people never learn. Final update. It's been 2 months since everything went down. Figured I'd give one last update since people keep asking. Madison's situation got worse before it got, well, it's still worse. After the TikTok went viral, someone found her Etsy jewelry business. Turns out she'd been drop shipping cheap stuff from Alibaba and marking it up 400%. The reviews were already terrible, But once people connected her to the video, they tanked completely. Shop closed within a week. She tried to reinvent herself as a life coach focusing on surviving toxic relationships, created a whole website about her journey and how she could help other women escape narcissistic partners. The audacity, right? Price for her coaching? $500 per session. Number of clients? 0. Gordon called me last week with an update. Madison had finally hit rock bottom. The court judgment was due, she couldn't pay, and her credit was destroyed. She'd applied for a job at 3 places, all rejected her after Googling her name. That TikTok video is the first thing that comes up. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Paul, one of her exes that Gordon had mentioned, found the video and reached out to me. Then Christopher did too. We formed a group chat called Madison Survivors Club. Turns out she'd pulled the exact same stuff with both of them. Moved in quickly claiming emergency. Never paid rent. Demanded expensive gifts. Trash-talked them to friends while plotting to get more. Played victim when they left. Christopher still had texts from 2019 where she bragged about getting him to pay for her nose job before dumping him. Paul had screenshots of her selling gifts he'd given her while they were still together. We didn't do anything with this info. Just felt good knowing I wasn't alone or crazy. Last I heard from Diane, Madison had finally gotten a job at a call center. Minimum wage plus commission. She has to be there at 6 a.m. and can't have her phone during shifts. She lasted 3 days at the first one before quitting because it was beneath her. Gordon told her if she quit another job, she was getting evicted from the studio. She's still there as far as I know. Still posting about being a survivor and Phoenix rising from ashes. But from a flip phone, because she had to sell her iPhone to make the first court payment. Brittany reached out once more last week. Madison had texted their old group asking for loans, claiming I'd financially abused her and left her destitute. Brittany's response? She sent Madison the screenshots of her original messages about the proposal and blocked her. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Started dating someone new, Qley from my rock climbing gym. She insisted on splitting our first date bill and thought the botanical garden was romantic when I mentioned it. Funny how that works. The ring money I donated? The charity sent me a thank you letter saying it helped fund a financial literacy workshop for young adults. They invited me to speak at it. I'm considering it. Might tell them about the importance of seeing red flags early. Madison's parents are doing better too. Diane joined a support group for parents of entitled adult children. Apparently that's a thing. Gordon sent me a bottle of expensive scotch with a note for showing us what we should have done years ago. The studio apartment above their garage, Madison decorated it with vision boards about her comeback and empire. She posts motivational quotes daily about betting on yourself and knowing your worth. The irony is completely lost on her. Someone recently commented on one of her posts, "Weren't you the girl who got dumped for calling your proposal cringe?" She deleted it immediately and made her account private. But my favorite update? Remember that $15,000 judgment? She's paid $3,000 so far. $12,000 to go. At her current payment rate, she'll be done in about 4 years. The court adds interest monthly. Every payment hits my account with a memo line she has to fill out. The first one said, temporary setback. The most recent one just said rent money. Reality really does hit different when nobody's there to cushion the fall. Looking back, that group chat mistake was the best thing that could have happened. Saved me from a lifetime of being someone's meal ticket. Could have been discovering this after a wedding and kids. Instead, I got out with my dignity, my assets, and a story that apparently resonates with a lot of people. To everyone who messaged saying I was too harsh, she literally admitted to scamming me for years. To those who said I should have kept it private, she put me on blast first with lies. Sometimes the only way to deal with entitled people is to let them face the consequences they've been avoiding their whole lives. Madison, if you're reading this from your studio apartment on your work break, the proposal wasn't cringe. Your character was. Dodged that bullet? More like dodged a nuclear missile.